We are live. Greetings, 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 my brothers and sisters, wherever you are, whether in Nigeria, outside Nigeria, I bring you warm greetings. It's currently 2:01 p.m. US Central Time, 3:01 p.m. US Eastern Time, and 9:01 p.m. Nigerian Time. And I bring you the program Nigerian Constitution and Your Right, Nigerian Constitution Know Your Right. It's a program powered by the Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Nigerian Time. Thank you for joining us today. Just take a quick minute before we delve into the conversation today. Take a few minutes, a few seconds, share the link wherever you're watching from, because we stream directly from three platforms: Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So share the link and invite more people to join and learn the content of our constitution. Today's topic, what is today's topic? Today's topic is citizenship by birth versus citizenship by registration. All right. If you were here last Tuesday, I told you that we're starting a new chapter. So this discussion is actually in a whole brand new chapter of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. So this is chapter 3. Chapter 3 is everything about citizenship of Nigeria. What type of citizenship can you acquire in Nigeria to become a Nigerian? Okay, if you're not a Nigerian. All right. So there are different citizenship by birth, by registration, by naturalization, etc., etc., etc. So we're taking it section by section as usual, because we go by section, okay? And today we are doing just one section, because I think it should not be rich enough if I focus on just one section of of this chapter, okay? So I'm focusing on two sections today, section 25 and section 26. Section 25 talks about citizenship by birth, while section 26 talks about citizenship by registration. So it makes sense to do citizenship by birth versus citizenship by registration. And that is what we are going to do today. So make sure you join the conversation by the comment section. Take your time, go to the comment section, comment, say hello to me, tell me where you're listening from, or tell me where you're conversing from, and ask question, and join the conversation. And tell me, are you a Nigerian citizen? If you're watching, tell me, are you a Nigerian citizen? Yes, so I'm a Nigerian, or no, I am a Cameroonian or Ghanaian, or any country you're from. Just, I want to know, because we're talking about citizenship. Or are you even a citizen of an Americas, like USA, Canada, Mexico, or that's North America, South America, like Brazil, Argentina, Chile, uh, uh, and all that? Or are you from Europe, UK, Germany, Sweden, etc., etc.? Are you from Asia, uh, China, Japan, South Korea? What country are you from? What country do you have citizenship, or do you have dual citizenship? Are you a dual citizenship, a Nigerian and a Ghanaian citizenship, a Nigerian and American citizenship, or a Nigerian and a European country, like a Nigerian and a UK citizenship? What category do you classify yourself? What is your category? Okay, so that is what we're talking about, citizenship, or specifically, we're talking about citizenship of the country known as the Federal Republic. Okay, that is the citizenship of what country. This show is Nigerian Constitution, and know how to power to hold your leaders accountable. And in that we come to a chapter of the Constitution, chapter 3, who talks about citizenship. Who is really a Nigerian? What makes you a Nigerian? Or what makes a person a Nigerian? And our Constitution, or the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, in chapter 3, talks about everything about citizenship. And today we are focusing on two types of citizenship: citizenship by birth, citizenship by registration. Without talking too much, I've been talking for 5 minutes. So let's delve into the Constitution. What does the Constitution say? So let's read together. Section, oh, before I read the Constitution, let me see if there's a comment. Comment. Use the comment section and tell me what country are you from? What country citizenship do you hold? Do you have dual citizenship, or do you have a single citizenship of a country? If you're a Nigerian, say I'm a Nigerian. If you're not a Nigerian, say I'm not a Nigerian. I'm a citizen of X, Y, and Z country. As in my case, I'm a Nigerian, so I'm a citizen of Nigeria, and also I'm a citizen of the United States of America. So I have dual citizenship. Okay. So are you a dual citizen of anywhere in the world? Are you a Nigerian? Tell me. Let's know. Okay. Comment section. Comment. I only have one comment by Miss Rita English, my favorite participant. Thank you, Rita. So Rita said, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you, Rita. And good evening to Nigerians. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. And we're talking about citizenship by birth versus citizenship by registration. Miss Rita, what country citizenship do you hold? Are you a citizenship of what country? What is your citizenship category? I've asked this question in so many ways. Let's read Constitution, Section 25. Section 25 of our Constitution says, the following persons are citizens of Nigeria by birth, namely, so subsection 1 says, every person born in Nigeria before the date of independence, either of whose parents or any of whose grandparents belongs or belonged to the community indigenous to Nigeria. Okay, what does that mean? So if you were born in Nigeria, and when we talk about Nigeria, we're talking about the geographical location known as Nigeria, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and if you were born there before the independence, and your parents or your grandparents were from a community that was indigenous to Nigeria, then you are a Nigerian. That's if you're born pre to 1960. And pre to independence. Sorry. And what is independence in Nigeria? Independence of Nigeria was gotten in the year 1960 or October 1st, 1960. So if you're born before October 1st, 1960, and your parents were Nigerian or from a community that was indigenous to what is known as Nigeria, then you are a citizen of Nigeria by birth. That's one criteria, okay? That makes sense. Okay, the next criteria is every person born in Nigeria after the date of independence. So we're talking about if you're born before the date of independence, and now we're talking about after the date of independence. And again, when did Nigeria get an independence? October 1st, 1960, okay? So if you're born before 1960, then your parents or your grandparents have to be citizens of that geographical location or any community that is in that geographical location that is known as, that became known as Nigeria in 1960, okay? That was what classifies you as a citizen. Then if you're born after 1960, then to become known as citizen, and that means whose parents or any of grandparents is a citizen of Nigeria. So at the time that Nigeria got independent, your parents are already citizens. So if you're born, then you are a citizen too, okay? That makes you a citizen by birth. So, okay, makes sense? Then what other characters? Every person born outside Nigeria, either of whose parent is a citizen of Nigeria. So basically, citizenship by birth have to do with you being born by a Nigerian. That's essentially what this Section 25 is trying to tell you. So you have to be born by someone that is a citizen of Nigeria to become a citizenship, to be a citizen by birth as a Nigerian, or to gain Nigerian citizenship by birth. That is to say, and there is three classification of this citizenship by birth. One, you were born before independence to a father, a mother, or grandparents that came from a community that's indigenous to what became known as Nigeria in 1960. Then that makes you a citizen of Nigeria by birth. Or you were born after 1960 to a parents who are already citizens of Nigeria post-independence. So that's number two. Then number three, you were born outside Nigeria. You were born outside Nigeria, but your parents were citizens of Nigeria. That makes you citizen by birth. So these are the three ways of being Nigerian citizen by birth. How many ways can you become a Nigerian citizen by birth? Three ways. Three ways. You can become a Nigerian citizen by birth in three different ways. Three different ways, okay? And so the first way is if you're born post 1960, so like our President Buhari and Atiku Abubakar and all those old folks, those old people that are trying to fight to become Nigerian president, those old folks, because they were born before 1960, and so they became citizens of Nigeria by birth because their parents were citizens of what became known as Nigeria. Okay, their parents were citizens of what became known as Nigeria. That is why they are citizens of Nigeria. Those old folks, those people in their 65 years old, let's say 60 people that are at least 61 years old, even Peter Obi fall under this. Even Peter Obi fall under this category of people that were born before 1960. So if you were born before 1960, then your parents have to have been citizen of a community that became known as Nigeria, a community indigenous to what became known as Nigeria. Okay, that's one category that makes you citizen by birth. Post that because your parents were from a community that became part of the communities that are known as current day or modern day Nigeria. Okay. Okay, let me see what people are saying. Please, as you're joining, tell me what country do you have your citizenship, or what is your citizenship? Are you a Nigerian? Are you a Ghanaian? Are you a Cameroonian? You have what citizenship? You have citizenship of two countries. Mention it in the comment section, because our conversation today is citizenship by birth versus citizenship by registration. That's at the focus of our conversation, and this is from section 25 and section 26 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended. So that is the focus of today's conversation. And Ms. Rita says, I am proudly Naija. That's good. All right. And Chini Rufina says, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Chini. What is your citizenship? What is your citizenship class or category? Are you a Nigerian? Are you a Ghanaian? I am NU. What is NU? NU. Let me highlight that. I am NU. Please, what is that, Miss Chini? What is NU? I am NU. What is NU? Okay. As we wait for her to respond, so we'll carry on. So that's one category to be citizen by birth. Your parents have to be indigenous to what is called Nigeria before independence. So those that were born 61 years ago fall into this class of citizens by birth. Then another class is people that were born after 1960. That's people that how many years Nigeria serve? 60. That's 40 years. 42, 40. Nigeria is 42 years old. So people that are 43 years and above fall under the first category. 43 years and above fall under the first category. Because Nigeria is 62 years old. So I guess Peter Obi doesn't actually fall in the first category, because I don't think Peter Obi is 63 years old. I think he's 61 years old or 62 years old. So he doesn't actually fall into that category. Who that fall into the category one of citizen by birth, that is born post pre-independence, people like Atiku Abubakar, Tinubu, and who was, and Konkoso. Konkoso is pre-independent, yeah, because he said he's Peter Obi's older brother. That's why Peter Obi has to step down for him so that Konkoso can be president and Peter Obi can be his vice. Yeah, because he's an old man and yeah, born pre-independence. So people that are born pre-independence fall in the first category. That's what subsection 1 of section 25 is saying. If you're born pre-independence, your grandparents or your parents have to be from a community indigenous to what became known as Nigeria. That's what qualifies you as a citizen by birth, pre-independence, okay? Being born pre-independence. Then people like Peter Obi, who were born post-independence, I assume, people that are below 62 years old, that's below the independence years. So those people, and people like me, I fall under that category because I was born very much later after independence. So people like us, people like younger people that 60 below 62 years old, people that are below 62 years old fall under the subsection 2 of requirement to be a citizen by birth, and that means that your parents just have to be citizens of Nigeria at the time of independence. So if your parents were citizens at the time of independence and you were born after independence, then that makes you a citizen of Nigeria by birth because your parents were already citizens of Nigeria by the time you were born, post-independence. Okay, that's number 2 classification of citizens by birth. Then the other class, the third class, which is the final class, but we only have 3 options of how to become citizen, but how to be citizen by birth. The third option is if you were born outside Nigeria to parents who are Nigerians, that make you a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria by birth. So you don't actually have to be born in Nigeria to be a citizen by birth. Okay? You do not have to be born in Nigeria to be a citizen of Nigeria by birth. Okay? Your parents just have to be Nigerians. If your parents are Nigerian and you were born, for example, if Miss Chini was born in United States, but her parents were Nigerians or were citizens of Nigeria, that actually makes Miss Chini a citizen of Nigeria by birth, even though she was not born in Nigeria. Okay? That is what the Constitution says in subsection 3 of section 25, as I read earlier. All right, so that is that. So this conversation is section citizen by birth versus citizen by registration. So that means let's change gear. We have spent half of our time talking about citizenship by birth. So let's move to citizenship by registration, and then we'll compare the two. Citizenship by registration is covered in section 26. All right. Section 26 says, subject to the provision. Please, if you have any question, ask your question in the comment section so that we can try to see what is the constitutional answer to that question or the legal answer to that question. Okay. So citizenship by registration is the next section, section 26. Subject to the provision of section 28 of this Constitution, a person to whom the provision of this section apply may be registered as a Nigerian if the president satisfied that. So actually you have to, it's called citizenship by registration. That means you have to register and the president have to go through it and certify it and say, okay, you can become a citizen of Nigeria. So what does that mean? So the person may be granted citizenship if the president of Nigeria is satisfied by the following. What is the following? He is a person of good character, okay? You have to be a person of good character, that's number 1. He has shown a clear, I don't know what he keeps saying, he. It's like only men can be citizens of Nigeria. The constitution has to be gender balanced. Our constitution is not gender balanced from what I've been reading. Say he. What about the she? So let me use he or she because I want to be gender balanced here. So he or she has shown a clear intention of his or her desire to be domiciled in Nigeria. Okay? And he or she has taken the oath of allegiance prescribed in the seventh schedule to this constitution. Okay, so those are the requirements. It's not no, it's not that much. One, you have to be a person of good character. Uh, Two, you have to have clear intention that you want to be citizen of Nigeria and you're going to live in Nigeria. That is one of the reasons. So those are the criteria that the president of Nigeria is going to go through. Check off, check off, check off. So yeah, he or she met this criteria. He or she made this criteria. He or she made this criteria. And if the president is satisfied by you meeting all this criteria, then the president can then approve you to become a citizen of Nigeria by registration. Okay. Um, all right. The provision of selection shall apply to any woman. Okay. Now they're talking about woman. Any woman who has been married to a citizen or every person of full age of capacity born outside Nigeria of whose grandparents are citizens of Nigeria. So, okay. Remember, so now this is where the verses come in place. In citizenship by birth, we say if you're born outside Nigeria to become citizen by birth, that means your parents have to be Nigerians for you to be classified as citizen by birth because your parents were already citizens of Nigeria. But in citizenship by registration, if you're born outside Nigeria and your parents are not Nigerian, your grandparents have to be Nigerians to become citizens by registration. That's one option. That's one example. So now that keep me asking, how can your grandparents be citizens of Nigeria and your parents are not citizens of Nigeria? I don't understand that. But that's why I usually like to have a lawyer here. Unfortunately, none of my lawyer friends were available to bring to this show. So I cannot answer that question because I am not a lawyer. I'm just a passionate citizen who is passionate about the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and try to explain it to the best of my knowledge and also try to bring lawyers to explain it as well. But unfortunately, there is none in the studio at this moment. But when I find out the answer to that, I will get back to you. Okay. All right, so that's that. And you see, you have to be, if you're married to a Nigerian, if a woman is married to a Nigerian, then she can become citizen by registration. So, like if I marry a non-Nigerian, that non-Nigerian woman can register to become a Nigerian citizen, and then she'll be a citizen of Nigeria by registration. Does that make sense? So my wife that is not original, like if I decide to go to Egypt and marry an Egyptian woman, and I bring that Egyptian woman to Nigeria, and that Egyptian woman decide that she wants to be a Nigerian too because she's married to a Nigerian man like me. So for her to become a Nigerian, she had to become a Nigerian citizen by registration. And remember, in subsection 1, the Constitution said that the president had to approve it. And how does the president approve it? The president had to make sure you are of good character and you are you agree to live in Nigeria. So to be a citizen by registration, you have to actually live in Nigeria. You have to live in Nigeria. That is what the Constitution requires. But I'm sure people that are registered as Nigerians move out of Nigeria at some point when Nigeria tired them, they will move. Or maybe they stay, who knows. So yeah, those are the requirements for citizenship by registration versus citizenship by birth. Okay, do you have any question? Let me go through the comment section and see who has question for me. Please give me easy question that I can answer. I don't want to taboo. Okay, I asked who is Nigerian. Who was okay, Miss Chini says I'm a Nigerian. So, yeah, good girl. We are all Nigerians here. And she says 62, I guess. Are you saying 62? Is that the age of Nigeria or the age of Mr. Peter Obi? Because that was what I was asked. I was thinking, is Peter Obi born pre-independence or post-independence? And Nigerian independence was 62 years ago. So, but I think Peter B is about 61, so he's born post-independent, I believe. Post-independent. Uh, Prince Ewimade Concons, I salute you, comrade. Salute you. It says, greetings, my dear brother. I keep up the good work. Thank you. Thank you for that vote of confidence. I am very encouraged right now. I am very, very encouraged. He said I should keep up the good work. I'm highly encouraged. Thank you. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, sir. All right. That's all the comments I have. So, what have you learned today? This is summary. What have you learned today? We are comparing citizenship of Nigeria either by birth or by registration. Citizenship either by birth or by registration. Mind you, this is not the only two types of citizenship you can have as to become a Nigerian. There are other types, and we'll go through them at the course of this series. Okay, we are in chapter 3 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and under that chapter 3, we are talking about section 25 and section 26. Okay, section 25 talks about citizenship by birth, while section 26 talks about citizenship by registration. I just read those two sections, and so we're comparing citizenship by birth versus citizenship by registration. And we said to become citizenship by birth, three things have to happen. One, if you were born before independence, that means your parents or your grandparents had to have been from communities that were indigenous to what became known as Nigeria. That is what qualifies you as a citizen of Nigeria by birth if you're born before independence. Okay, and independence in this case is talking about October 1st, 1960. Is that clear? Okay, that's one option. Then the second option is that if you're born post-independence, that if you're born after independence, that if you're born after 1st of October 1960, then your parents had to be Nigerian citizen. That means by 1960, then your parents should have been Nigerian citizen, or a little after that. So if your parents are Nigerian citizens and you were born by them after independence, that makes you a Nigerian, and that makes you classify you as a citizen by birth. You earn your citizenship because we were born by Nigerians. Citizenship by birth. Okay, that's what that means. Citizenship by birth is that you earn your citizenship because you were born by people who are Nigerians. That makes you a Nigerian too. Make sense? Yeah. Okay. So then the third option of being a citizen of Nigeria is the same, just like the other two options. You have to be born by a Nigerian, but outside Nigeria. If you're born outside Nigeria, as long as your parents are Nigerians, you are also a Nigerian citizen by birth. So don't think because you're born outside Nigeria that you're not a Nigerian citizen. That is not true. So don't let anyone deceive you. If you're there, like those in the diaspora, those born outside Nigeria, I have a lot of friends that are Nigerians, but they're born outside Nigeria. So those people classify as also citizenship by birth. So you're not a citizen by registration, as a Nigerian citizen by birth. Okay, so you are a Nigerian. Be proud to be a Nigerian. Then talk about citizenship by registration. Citizenship by registration means you have to actually register to become a Nigerian citizen. And who are the people that do that? They are spouses of Nigerians. Okay, spouses of Nigerians. And when we talk about spouses of Nigerians, now we're talking about the female now. So I don't know, people that are regular on this show will remember there's one session that we had. I had barrister, my good friend, barrister Joseph Baggio. He was here. He mentioned that Nigerian constitution is discriminatory against women. He said Nigerian constitution is discriminatory against women by the virtue that it allows Nigerian men to marry women that are not Nigerian, and then those women they marry become Nigerians as well. But that same Nigerian constitution do not allow Nigerian women to marry men that are not Nigerian and allow those men to be Nigerian citizens. So it's a double standard. So a woman that's a Nigerian, if she marry a man that is not a Nigerian, that man will never be a Nigerian by registration. But a man that's a Nigerian when you marry a woman that's not a Nigerian, the woman can actually become a Nigerian. So that is the discrimination, double standard, according to Barrister Joseph Temdo Baggio, my good friend, on this show. So, which is strange that Nigerian constitution can be that biased, but that is what we'll see. And I can see why a lot of people agitate the Nigerian constitution needs to be changed because it's not a good document and or amended to mirror the image or the future we want to see. But unfortunately, our lawmakers do not want to uh, amend the constitution based on what the people want. The lawmakers are interested, the National Assembly, the senators and the House of Assembly, House of Representatives, I mean, both houses are only interested to amend the constitution to fit them, to benefit them. So if it's something that will benefit them now, they will amend it. But if it's something that will benefit the people, the general populace, the Nigerian people, the good people of Nigeria, they will not do that amendment. They have currently amended the constitution 4 times. Four times. Nigerian constitution have been amended 4 times, and others 4 times, not that great, not good amendments. We are currently on the fifth amendment, or the process of having the fifth amendment. If you remember, a few months ago, this year, they were doing constitutional review sessions and blah blah blah. That was when someone suggested that we should name Nigeria UAR, urania, and people were making jest of that. So that was during the constitutional review session. So hopefully the Fifth Amendment will be great, and I hope the Fifth Amendment will mirror what the desires of the people are, especially state policing or local government policing and restructuring kind of arrangement, returning the Nigerian polity or federation to regionality, that is as it was at the time of independence, the eastern region, the northern region, and the western region, or maybe they can have the midwestern region. So, but I doubt this Fifth Amendment is going to go that far. I doubt it's going to go that far. So, but we'll look for an amended constitution that mirrors our desires and our aspirations of the people, of the good people of Nigeria. That is my hopes and prayer. But let's wait and see. Okay, I think that is where we end this show. I hope you learned something about your citizenship classification. Either you're a citizen by birth, 3 options, or either you're a citizen by registration. Also went about 3 options again. Married to a Nigerian, or you just register on your own because you want to live in Nigeria and you are of good character, and the president reviews your document and approves you to become a citizen by registration. So, or your grandparents are Nigerians, but you were born outside Nigeria, they can be a citizen, can register as a citizen. So that are the 2 things we are comparing today. Next Tuesday, we're going to compare citizenship by naturalization, maybe to citizenship by birth, because I think citizenship by birth is the most solid type of citizenship. I'm not saying any other type of citizenship is not solid. Actually, I'm saying it. The best type of citizenship is by birth. I'm a citizen of Nigeria by birth, so, and that's the best type of citizenship to acquire. So by birth. So we'll compare. I think we'll compare all the other types of citizenship to citizenship by birth, because I think citizenship by birth should be the gold standard. So we have compared citizenship by birth versus citizenship by registration. So next week we'll compare citizenship by naturalization, citizenship by registration. I may also talk about dual citizenship next Tuesday. Okay, so come prepared. Come with your questions. I want you to ask me a question. Let's be interactive. Okay, and we're talking about, it's all about citizenship, types of citizenship. That's what we're talking about throughout the month of December. Okay, throughout the month of December. All right. So, all right. This is where I leave you, and I hope to see you next Tuesday. So thank you for your time. Same place, same time, 9 p.m. Nigerian time. I'll be your humble host, and I'll be here, and I hope you're learning about the types of citizenship, how and what makes you a Nigerian, as I am proudly Nigerian. Bye-bye, and have a good night.